with you again. So for today, we're going to be focusing on the concept or the usage of the equation of a line, which is y equal mx plus c. Now, generally it's c here, but sometimes you'll see different letters, might be b or so, but the c represents constant, x represents your x value or your x coordinate, m represents your gradient, y represents your y coordinate. Now, once you're dealing with equations of the line or most of these topics of collinear, parallel, or perpendicular lines, you might have to use this, which is the equation of the lines formula. So now, for example, say you're given a question with collinear. When a line says that points are collinear, it means that all the points are on one single straight line. So you would have a line and then different points on that line. So all the points would be collinear in relation to each other. So the question here says the points A, 0, 7, B, 5, 4, and C, negative 5, P are collinear. Find P. Now for you to find P, you would have to first find the gradient. There's another video on how to find gradient in different situations, so you can check it out to be better knowledgeable of how to find gradient. So I'll just run through the gradient aspect. So first, you just use your formula. So it's y2 minus next y over x minus x. So you choose the two brackets that you know what the values are, and you'll find the gradients from those. So it's y2 or y1 minus y2, so y1 minus y2, so that's y1 minus y2, so that's 7 minus 4, x1 minus x2, so 0 minus 5. So 7 minus 4 gives you 3, and 0 minus 5 gives you negative 5. So when you get here, you'll now put it in the formula of the equation of a line. So y is equal to m is a gradient, so you just replace your m, so negative 3 over 5, x plus c. So now you're trying to find p, but before you can do that, you have to know what your constant is. So to find your constant, you can simply use any of the points that you already know. So I'll use a being 0, 7, as I don't need the x to be 0 to cancel this part of it easily. You can use the next one and you'll still get the same answer. So y in this is 7 equal negative 3 over 5, x is 0 plus c. So 7 equals 0 times negative 3 over 5 gives you 0 plus c. So 7 is equal to c. So c is 7. So the equation of the line here says y equal negative 3 over 5 plus, and you replace your c with the 7. Oh, I missed the x. So that's the equation of line. So y is equal negative 3 over 5, which is your gradient x plus 7. So when you get to this part now, all you need to do is put in your values for the one that you are trying to find now. So now p is your y, so you can say p is equal to your gradient, negative 3 over 5, your x, negative 5, plus your c, which was 7. Now you'll work it out mathematically now. So negative 3 over 5, so mathematically negative 5 times negative 5, that will cancel out to say 1. So you would basically say p now is equal to 3 plus 7. So p is equal to 10. And that's it. So first thing, find your gradient. Then you'll try to find c if it's not given. And when you find c now, you'll just use the equation of the line where you have both the gradient and the value of your constant, and then you'll put in your x and y values accordingly, and you'll be able to solve for the missing value. Now, if you want to find the value of the parallel line, if a question wants you to prove that a line is parallel, this is what we'll do now. So this one says, what line is parallel to 3x plus 2y equals 6 and passes through point 2, negative 1. So the first thing you have to do, put your equation in the form of the equation of a line. So y equal mx plus c. So in order to do this, you know now that you must make y the subject of the equation. So in order to do that, 2y equals 6 minus 3x. And when you can write this as negative 3x plus 6. So that's step 1, making 2y by itself by getting rid of the 3x by subtracting it on the other side. When you get to this part now, simply just try to get rid of the value, the coefficient of y. So to get rid of it, multiplying by 2, just divide both sides by it in this case. So y is equal to negative 3 over 2 x plus 6 divided by 2, that gives you 3. Now you have gotten the equation of this line. Now for it to be parallel, it means that the gradient must be the same, but the constant more than likely will be the same or different. And most times for a line to really be parallel, it cannot be the same. So it will be different even by a point, but it will be different because if they are the same radian truly, it means that both lines are on top of each other. And when the two lines are parallel, they are beside and not on top of each other. So the gradient will be the same, but the constant, it will be different. Now, it means that when you are trying to prove if the line is parallel, it means that your constant must be unknown. So you'll just change your constant back to c, but you will use all of this now as they were. So y is equal to negative 3 over 2x plus c. So because this here is the equation of this line, you are going to now try to find what is the value of the constant now to make a line parallel to it. So here we are given the values. So y is equal to negative 1. So you'll substitute it in. So y negative 1 equals, gradient you'll put it back, over 2, x is 2, plus c, which is your constant. Now you'll solve this mathematically. So 2 multiplied by negative 3 over 2 means that these two will cancel out each other. So it will give you negative 1 equal 3, negative 3 plus c, because there's a negative sign here. Now you're trying to get c by itself. So get rid of it by bringing the 3 on the other side or adding 3 to both sides. So it's negative 1 plus 3 equals to c. Now that you have c here equals 2. Negative 1 plus 3 gives you 2. So the fact that c is 2, it means now that you can just put this back in the line of the equation. So y is equal to the gradient, which is negative 3 over 2, x, because that will be there, and plus c. c is 2, so you'll put your 2 in the stead of c. So here we realize that the parallel lines equation, the gradients must be the same, but the constants, those are what will be different. So here and here. So that is the parallel line that runs beside this one. Now the final aspects now, perpendicular lines. So once a line is perpendicular, it means it forms a right angle. So parallel lines, same direction. Collinear means on the same line, perpendicular, right angle. So this says what is the equation for the line that is perpendicular to 4x minus 3y equals 6 through point 4,6. So first thing you do, put it in the equation of a line. So making y the subject, and that's negative 3, y equals 6 minus 4x. So y equals, so I'm going to put this around, so negative 3 equal negative 4x plus 6. So just make it around so you can recognize your gradient easily. So y equals negative 4 over negative 3x plus 6 over negative 3. So this is equal to y. So I just put the negative 3 under each so you can see how the breakdown comes. So when you have two negative signs dividing each other, it automatically becomes a positive. So it's 4 over 3 x. Now, when you have a positive being divided by a negative, so 6 divided by negative 3, that will give you negative 2. So minus 2. Now, once it is here, you will just do this thing with perpendicular lines. For it to be perpendicular, it means that the gradient of it is the opposite and it's reciprocated, meaning it's flipped and the sign is different. So if it's positive, when you find a perpendicular line, it will become a negative, and like how 4 is at the top and 3 at the bottom, it will reciprocate, meaning 3 will go at the top and 4 goes to the bottom when it's the gradient of lines that are perpendicular to each other. So it means that the equation of the perpendicular line would be negative y is equal to negative 3 over 4 x minus, now here we are trying to find now the value of c again. So it's plus c, because that's the equation of a line. C plus c. So even though this one says minus 2, you will forget it. Only reason you needed to find the gradient was do all of this was because you needed the gradient in order for you to find the reciprocated negative of it. So that's why. So we get the negative 3 over 4. So now that you put it here, you'll use the points that you got. So y is equal to 6. So 6 equals negative 3 over 4, open bracket. X is 4, so you'll put your 4 here. Plus c. Now when you get to this part, solve it mathematically again. So 4 multiplied by negative 3 over 4, practically saying these two get cancelled. So it will be 6 is equal to negative 3 plus c. You are trying to find c, or the value of your constant. So c is equal, so 6 plus 3 is equal to c. So 6 plus 3, that gives you 9, equals c. So if c is equal to 9, it means now that you're going to put your 9 where you have your c. So y is equal to negative 3 over 4 x plus 9, because that's the value of c. So remember, when it's collinear, it means that they're all on the same line. So once you find your gradient and your c, you'll just simply put in the values that you're trying to find, the coordinates that you're trying to find, and you'll be able to solve it. When it's parallel line, find the equation of a line, and then you'll just simply use your gradient and use the coordinates that they give in order to find the value of c. When you find the value of c, you just put it back in the equation of a line. For the perpendicular now, you'll find your gradient, then you'll do the negative reciprocal of it. So if it's positive, it becomes negative. If it was negative, it becomes positive. And you flip it. So what was at the bottom goes to the top. What was at the top goes to the bottom. And then you will solve through in order to find c. When you find c, you'll just simply substitute it in that equation, and you will find the equation that is perpendicular to the value or to the line that was given. So this is how you use the equation of a line when you're dealing with collinear lines, parallel lines, and perpendicular lines. I hope this video was helpful, and tune in again with Mr. Brown as I'll explain other mathematical concepts.